Welcome to Squares of the Roundtable podcast, where it is quarantine day number... What day is it again, Mike?
I forgot. I lost count after 2.
I know, I swear. Oh, God.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. So is remembering what quarantine day you're on. It's like, today, Monday, what day am I on? Where is time? Does time and space, get lost along the way?
Like the Gollum memes, We forgot the taste of bread. It's because they're only allowing...
Let me tell you something.
They're only one loaf of bread per customer at the stores now.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Went to go... Okay. So I took my 80-year-old mom to the grocery store.
Okay.
You know how it's like, okay, you don't have to buy everything that you need. Yeah. I mean, that thing was packed. We spent an hour in the grocery store.
Huh.
I mean, an hour. I mean, it was just buy this, buy that. Maybe we need this. What if we need that? It's like, oh my God. I mean, it was brutal. But the reason I'm mentioning this is we go to the aisle with the bread, and it was like picked over. I mean, it's insane. Yeah. It's like you don't expect it to be like, okay, I'm just going to pick up my brand of bread.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
I've never seen this.
Here.
It's like
it's not here. It's like not even one pot. Like, I went to I'm like, hey, I could use some brownberry for once. There's no brownberry. Or let me rephrase that. There's brownberry, but it's not the brownberry that's in the red.
It's not the brand I want.
Right. It's not the red label one. And then my mom wanted rye bread, but it wasn't the rye bread she wanted. So it was like, well, I don't want this then. But yeah, and then you go to the water, and it's like the grocery store water, that's there. Like all the good brands of water.
All the brand names, yeah.
All the brand names are gone.
What about Dasani? Was Dasani still there? Because everyone hates Dasani.
I can't remember. I wasn't looking for Dasani, to be perfectly honest.
Exactly. No one looks for Dasani.
That's... Well, because wasn't there the one article where they pretty much admitted that they're rebottling tap water?
Yeah. All those YouTube videos or whatever about the conspiracy.
Yeah, or something like that.
The carcinogens and all that.
Hey, Mike, does the hardware store have hand sanitizer?
Well, let me see. Let me go check in the cavity of my asshole.
Seriously.
Yeah. No, it is not.
How many times were you asked this week? Yeah, what do you think the number is?
Multiple times a day.
Multiple times a day?
Hand sanitizer, toilet paper, masks. We're out of masks. We've been out of masks. We're selling dust masks. It won't work.
Did you see the people who were making masks out of bras?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Where they sliced the bra in half and then the one half of the bra.
I see one person use a fresh out of the box diaper, not a soiled one, but they used a diaper. Be sure that they're not the used kind. So, yeah, it's been a crazy ass week. And last time we recorded, there was a slim glimmer of a chance that DairyCon would still go on, but no, the very next day, the governor of Wisconsin put a kibosh on gatherings of more than 10 people, so that was that. So it went to hell, and my diet went with it too. So it's been a bad week for me in that comfort food.
Let me ask you about that.
Rush to the comfort food.
Well, let me ask you about that. So, are you feeling comfortable at all going to getting things from restaurants, or are you just, okay, I'm going to the grocery store and I'm cooking my own crap?
We're doing a little bit of both here.
Okay.
We're buying local. We got a couple of local eateries that we order from to help maintain them,
Yeah.
But we have been cooking in as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat with you in that I feel like it's... I feel like, especially with the way things are, it's like, people are like, oh, well, I don't want anybody touching my stuff. You mean like all the stuff that gets touched at the grocery store that gets moved around and put things, and there's produce there that gets touched that anybody could sneeze or God knows what? It's like, you know what? One half does it one way, one half doesn't the other. So to me, I'm kind of with you. The other thing is restaurants have made it easier for me not to have to go to the grocery store where it gets to turn into sometimes like a mob scene. So, yeah,
Do you use the apps like DoorDash or Grubhub or anything like that? Or just call them?
No, I really haven't. I haven't done as much delivery. I've been willing to go curbside and pick some stuff up.
Right. But do you call ahead of time, or do you order through their website?
I just call ahead of time.
Yeah,
I haven't used websites yet.
Okay.
I haven't used websites yet. I've been tempted to.
The thing is now is that everyone's using the internet now. And now everyone's about like, oh man, now the hackers are coming out because more and more people are opting to use the net now. So.
Well, yeah, it's not like we have a choice in the matter.
Exactly. But right now, we think we're savages. We're living a hard life because we have to choose between the brand name frozen pizza we don't have in stock.
Yeah.
But wait until the internet goes down, we're in. Everyone's Netflix goes down, we're done.
I kind of laugh because I saw somebody who's like, I have a friend on Facebook who is, it's not like a immediate acquaintance, but somebody who I've talked to a few times. And it was funny because he's like, everybody's out there trying to find this, toilet paper and sanitizers and all that stuff. He's like, I went into the grocery store, I bought MREs and canned goods and steak and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I kind of thought the same way. Where it's like, yeah, you need stuff that's more on the long term. This will stay longer. This could stay in my cabinet for a year if I needed to. That kind of thing. The MREs, on the other hand, I've heard bad things. I've never had an MRE. I'd really rather not find out the hard way.
It's all that freeze dried stuff that's on the webs, like.
Yeah.
No, you could try those, but yeah, exactly. Like military grade ones, that's like shit on a shingle. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even the other ones, it's like, you know what? Because at some point, those don't stay all the time.
All the freeze-dried stuff. Yeah.
Right, so at some point, you have to eat them. And it's like, well...
Before they do expire, because they do have an expiration date.
Exactly. You're like, oh God, at some point I have to eat this. Yeah. I guess at that point you could donate it.
Maybe.
But it's like, I did pay for this food.
Yeah.
My Jewish brother would be like, we paid for this, we should eat it. Okay.
We're not going to waste it.
We're not going to waste it. It sounded more like some old Jewish dad than Jewish mom, but yeah. Yeah, no, I've been doing a little bit of local, as well as going to the grocery store. Yeah, absolutely. It's just...
No, we're just patronizing our local establishments because we like them too.
Yes, absolutely. And to me, that's... I think it's interesting how many people weren't... When they were all, like, rushing out to, like, go to the grocery store, it's like, jeez. It's like, what? It's like, I was like, I don't need to go to the grocery store. I'll just...
Remember 2 weeks ago when everyone had toilet paper?
Oh, I still have toilet paper.
Yeah, we still have it in stock. Yeah, the store shelves.
So here's the irony. We ran out like 4 days before this all went to hell. So that weekend, right before it all went to hell, I had lugged a whole crap load of toilet paper into the house.
There you go.
So I already and we buy in bulk anyway. So it was like, when everybody's like, oh, toilet paper. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really worried about toilet paper, or we shouldn't be. But it was funny because the last time I was in there, I'm like, maybe I should buy one just in case. Just buy the one.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago when it all started to go down, that it was the next day. It was that Thursday morning, and I walked past at the Walmart, and everyone's grabbing it, and everyone's grabbing it because everyone else is grabbing it. I think it was all started with one person.
Oh, it's definitely got.
So now I guess they've added some laws to prevent hoarding, and we got a hoarding story for later in the week for News of the Squared.
We got a bunch of stories.
I think almost every story that's on the news of the squared is related to this pandemic.
Because it has to be at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like every story is going to be a news
people being stupid. And you know what?
Yeah.
And because I work at a hardware store, and people come in when things are broken, and I've grown-ass adults who don't know which way to turn a screwdriver, and it's like, you won't survive when...
I'm not gonna lie. I am one of those people sometimes. I do need to do the song, the righty tighty lefty loosey song, every single time. It's like, okay,
but basic home skills. I mean, like, I'm not saying like screw in a light bulb. I mean, most people can do that, but I mean, like fixing a toilet, fixing a garden hose. I mean, just basic of the most basic stuff. Well, you can go to YouTube and research it. And
oh God, can I ask you a question? Do you really go to YouTube and watch that stuff?
Yes, because through the consensus, it's a useful tool because you look at how things are done, and you look at the up votes versus the down votes. If there's a lot of down votes, try another video because obviously, dude, or skim through the comments section saying, "Dude, you're doing it wrong. This is how you do it." See,
to me, that's the point where I sit there and I go, you know what? I could pay somebody to do this and been done by now.
Well, that's how things were when we had an economy.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, I always let people like, well, this is why you're broke. I'm like, yeah, but this is why I have time. Because I didn't spend 20 minutes watching this stupid video trying to figure out how this worked. Mm-hmm. And trying to bang my head on a wall. It's like,
because I've got people. We sell chip keys. We get some people who come in who don't know how to change a battery on their key fob, and so we do it for them. But sometimes I see one, and I'm like, I need to go to the internet and see how this is done, so I don't break it. And sure enough, I've so far so good. I've not broken one on people. But they've been confident enough to say, okay, well, you do it. And now I could show them. And then, how the old saying goes, teach a man to fish.
Okay, this is the part where Jeff continues to admit that his mechanical skills suck.
Well, but you still worked at radio, so you'd have some basic technical knowledge.
I do, but now in fairness.
I know we weren't engineers, but we still had some.
With the key, it was kind of because I don't think I mentioned this, but yeah, perfect timing to get a brand new car because that was a good idea that I could afford that at this time. Because it just came from the dealership, and I get this thing on the key fob that says low battery, and I'm like, first of all, I'm like, really? Second of all, I'm like, this has a battery? Stupid me. Well, yeah. I'm like, all right, how do I fix this? My third reaction was, but really in reality, I went right back to the dealership because my reaction was, I've had this car less than 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. You can replace the battery. I'm not replacing it.
Or at least have them show you how.
Battery. You're gonna do this.
Mm-hmm. Did they do it?
I just paid thousands of dollars for a car. You can
flip a battery for $5 retail.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I just leveraged for a car. I was like, trust me, I didn't even have the money for that. It's like, oh, good, perfect timing for this whole thing to happen. Good job.
Did they show you how to change it out?
No, I just did it. I should have actually watched. I was actually talking to somebody else. I was working on other stuff.
It's usually just a slotted head screwdriver to pry the halves apart. In most cases, you can do that.
Yeah. There are enough things I understand how to get by. I mean, the best is, and this is the part everybody laughs at, is just the fact that my dad worked in tool and die for over 40 years.
Yeah.
As a salesperson.
My dad built
like,
switchgear.
You should know more about this.
Yeah.
It's like, I know about it. Doesn't mean I can do it.
I'm scared to death of home electricity, like electric projects.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, well, my dad worked in switchgear for 50 years.
Right.
But I shut down the main breaker if I have to change a switch plate cover. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to get electrocuted.
Yeah, well, you've watched enough Home Improvement over the years to watch what happens to Tim the Toolman Taylor if you screw that up. Or one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you do, make sure you have the breaker off.
I don't think so, Tim. Yeah, exactly. I remember when that show first came out. I said, it'll never go over. It's just Tim Allen's stand-up routine.
Well, it'll go over because there's enough men out there. There's enough men,
and sure enough,
men who do exactly those things, and there are enough women who
went for
died.
How many seasons did that show Home Improvement go on? For like 8, 9 seasons. We watched those little boys grow up, man. Jesus.
Yeah, seriously. One of them became like the big it heartthrob, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. I don't know if this is the youngest one or whatever. He became like a Tiger Beat, cover.
Let's see. How many seasons was Home Improvement? Let's see if we can find it. 8 seasons.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run.
8 seasons from 1991. So what was the wackiest thing you got asked at the hardware? I mean, are people really coming in to look for hardware store stuff, or
yeah, people are buying paint.
Really just paint?
They're buying paint and they're buying grills because they want projects to do when they're quarantined, whether it gets warmer eventually, and they want to grill out because we all got to eat. So they buy the food and then they grill it, which is more fun.
Paint. Like indoor paint?
Yeah.
Outdoor paint?
To paint indoor paint, obviously. They could paint the rooms.
Paint.
But it's too cold yet because they can't open their windows. They had to wait on it.
Right. I was going to say, don't they need to not be in the house when they paint
for a while? Well, eventually, hopefully they can open their windows when it gets warmer.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just kind of like sitting here thinking about this going, unless they're looking for a cheap high.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, I see colors.
I heard that the Illinois dispensaries are doing good.
I would imagine so.
With more and more kids out of school.
Does that have delivery? I want to know. That is it delivery because you can't sit there.
I get curbside pickup, man.
Curbside pickup.
I'm not driving, man.
All right, so we've talked enough about this. I got a question for you.
Pose your question, my friend.
So I'm checking like on demand, and they're talking about movies, and they had some movies that were first run movies available. Like they had Invisible Man out, and they had a few others that were available, like available to rent. And I was like, whoa! And then I went to go check the price, $19.
Yeah, that's to rent it.
For
a 3-day rental. Well, you could watch it twice, and that pays for the movie ticket there.
I guess. I mean,
especially if you're seeing it with a family.
Well, see now that's the trick. That's the real answer to the question because they're talking about Wonder Woman going direct, and they're talking about a $20 charge, and there's a part of me where I'm like, do I really want to pay $20 to watch Wonder Woman? And the only thing I keep coming up with is if I had a family with kids, or if I was able to have friends over by that point or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'd be willing to pay $20, but otherwise I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm willing to pay $20 because I'm not seeing the value in this for a one-time. Okay, I'm paying you $20. I mean, I know some people's reaction, and I'm sorry, Mike, I'm rambling, but I know some people's reaction is, well, you're paying that much if you're getting a ticket, and if you're getting a regular ticket, and then if you're paying for the food, like popcorn and all that other stuff, yeah, that'll put it in that'll put you in the $20 range. And to me, I kind of laugh because it's like, yeah, I think I'd rather have the popcorn and have to go there than pay $20 and then P.S. Now I got to buy the popcorn and have it already and all that other stuff. That's additional cost.
Yeah, you gotta factor it in because like a family of 4 could easily spend $100.
Right.
So.
Oh, absolutely. If I've got a family, no, this is a no-brainer.
So this is a great time to remember that I got like a huge box. If you remember maybe what we talked about, what we got for the holidays. I got a huge box of microwave popcorn from my uncle.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm still working that down.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. Hey, perfect time for a global pandemic, right? Woohoo! Yeah, all right. Way to go, George.
Well, yeah. At least you will.
You called it, man. Awesome.
Popcorn. But yeah, I was just curious. Would you for a $20 rental? If it was something like Wonder Woman or Black Widow.
I mean, if a friend would come over and we could watch it, or I would be able to watch it twice in 3 days. If it is like a 36-hour, usually it's what, a 48-hour rental, so I can get 2 viewings.
That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah, I think it's a 48-hour.
I didn't get that far.
Like most pay-per-view, like when
assuming...
the last movie I got was Ford vs. Ferrari, and that was like a 48-hour rental.
Yeah, but that's not a first-line front rental film.
No, it was like $5 or whatever when it came.
Right, it's whatever the normal price is usually. So I'm curious if you get that option. Now here's interesting, and I didn't think about this till just now. Here's how I would do it. Okay, I rent it. Like, assuming like we're all still quarantined, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's how I do it. I'd be like, okay, Mike.
You bootleg it with your phone.
Forget bootleg. Bootleg. Okay, Mike. Here's my account information to go to Comcast.
Right.
Go ahead. Just watch it since I bought
password sharing it.
And and just give me $10 later or something.
Yeah. Or I'll, whatever, PayPal
or
whatever.
Depending on who else is around. Yeah, it's like, now that I'm thinking about this, is like, that's the real answer to this. Yeah. That's how this works. Because the problem is, this is all against single people. This is really all against single people. Because if you got families, this $20, no brainer, boom, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. If you're single,
the single guys with no kids.
$20. Yeah. Yes, $20.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even get popcorn. What the hell?
Well, my mentality is that if you can watch it twice, if you're willing to watch it twice in 2 days.
See, that's the problem. Am I really willing to watch that twice in 2 days?
No.
If you gave it to me like a week later, again, you know what I mean? If you gave me like a week to watch it twice, okay, I probably would watch it again. Although maybe I would. Maybe I would watch it again since it's just me at home and I don't have to go anywhere.
You can pause it, go to the bathroom, come back. You're not missing anything. Just like all the pay-per-view.
Maybe I would. I don't know. I'm not.
So what have you watched this week? Anything of note?
Well, the first episode, Brockmire, happened this week.
Oh, the new season or whatever?
For the final season, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm bummed that it's the final season. I didn't realize this was going to be the final season. Like,
is it episode? Excuse me. Are they dropping one episode a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. It's weird. So I don't feel like I'm giving anything away because it's kind of in the trailers that are out there. And for people who are looking for it, it's from IFC. So if you have IFC or if you have On Demand for Comcast or any of the, or you get the idea, any of the different ones. IFC is usually one that everybody's kind of got unless you're not using cable. But Brockmire, so they do this weird thing where they decide that they're going to move the show like 20 years into the future.
Whoa, okay.
And I don't want to give I don't want to do too many spoilers, but the irony is some of the rationales about what happens and why it's like, I'm like start quarantined and watching it, and I'm like, wow, they were like, they really like, what did they have a crystal ball or something?
Well, they were prophetic.
Yeah, they were pretty. I mean, not exactly, but there were some things where it's like, what did they have a crystal ball or something? So yeah, they end up hopping like about 20 years into the future. And they end up making Brockmire the commissioner of baseball, which I'm kind of like, okay, but yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It was weird for a time jump. I see them doing it maybe for the season finale, like the final episode, to like put a cap on the whole arc, But for the whole final season being 20 years later, man.
So they
weird.
Do go back in time.
Oh, flashbacks?
Often.
Okay.
They go back in time. See, I don't want to give too much away because people may have not watched it yet. But there's trust me, because my first reaction when I first saw the beginning part of it was like, are you kidding me? How could you not give us this? This would be hysterical all by itself for the season. And I was like, really? But they are kind of doing things where it's like, they are giving us some of those sections, and I guess it's worthwhile. But I'll see. I mean, it still was funny. There was some stuff in there that was hysterical. That was really pretty funny. So I'll watch. Because Hank Azaria is great, and given all the stuff that he's had to put up with his whole trouble with that poo thing, I'm glad he's found this. I hope honestly that Hank Azaria does indeed continue to do this role somewhere else, because it's great. What about you? Did you watch? I mean, I've got other things I watched, but anything you watched?
I just watched the new animated Red Sun. Came out on DVD.
Yeah. How was that?
That was good.
Question. Before you read it, before you watched it, did you read the actual?
Yes. About a year ago, so I read the original book.
Okay, you read the Mark Miller book. Okay.
Yes. So this did divulge slightly, because it being a 90-minute animated feature, they had to encapsulate some things and ignore some things, but they stayed pretty true to it. And I really liked, what was the name? Was the guy? It was Jason Isaacs. He played Captain Lorca on the first season of Star Trek Discovery, and he was really good as Russian Superman. But it was great. I mean, I liked the whole the Lex Luthor dynamic at the end, like the final battle, but they didn't put the epilogue on it about how Luthor becomes like a Kal-El, or Jor-El is a distant descendant of Luthor. They didn't put the spin on that at the end. They just kind of had disguised Russian Superman as Clark Kent, disappearing in the distance as Luthor retires, as the new United Earth or whatever celebrates their the world peace and all that. But it was really good. The Apocalypse War teaser trailer was in it too, and that looks great. It was like the final episode of what the DC Expanded Universe is. And I never read like Justice League Dark or any of those other books, but that looks really cool because I've watched a lot of those DC Universe films where there's the same kind of animation style, and kind of its own kind of continuity, like where Rainn Wilson is the voice of Luthor. So that looks, it was really good. I'd recommend it if you can catch it for like $5 or
it is. It's available right now on.
Yeah, you can stream it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course. I bought the DVD because I'm old fashioned.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is.
I just wanted to make sure people were aware it's available because honestly, I was very, very close to picking that up over the weekend.
Yeah, it's good entertainment. It was good. It's a good Superman story.
This is gonna sound crazy. I finally got around to watching School of Rock.
Yeah, I saw that. You posted on. I saw that years ago when I was on cable.
Right, it's like 17-year-old movie. I don't know. I never felt like seeing the movie, and I was like, all right, fine, it's free. I'll watch it because apparently we're getting Showtime for like almost a month for free, and it's like, okay, sure, well, I'll take a look at this. What the heck? Why not?
What'd you think of it?
It's a solid movie. It really is.
It was okay.
I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. And it's funny to watch some of the. It's interesting to watch some of the people in the movie because, we're talking about some of the people that are in this movie. Joan Cusack is now in different types of roles versus the one she's in at the time. Jack Black's a lot younger. Sarah Silverman is still kind of up and coming versus where she is now. So yeah, and then Miranda Cosgrove's in there, and it's like, if anything, I kind of laugh because I'm like, Miranda Cosgrove did actually do a music album and actually had kind of a music career after she did all her stuff on Nickelodeon for a while, and I'm like, why wasn't she singing in this? But okay. Yeah, but it's really young Miranda Cosgrove right before she's does the iCarly and all that kind of or maybe it's even before Drake, maybe around Drake and Josh. possibly. Okay. But really on the young side, so it's like it's got to be Drake and Josh.
I don't remember much from that film. I saw it years and years ago.
Right. But... No, it's funny because I had one of the School of Rock schools in Minnesota as a client buying promotional products from me sometimes, which is funny because I never saw the movie. But yeah, absolutely. Probably a 4 EMNs.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm really going to give it 5, but it was definitely entertaining. Let me ask you, what movies would people think you've seen that you haven't seen?
Blade Runner.
It's funny. You and I are on the same wavelength there.
I have the DVD. It's over there. It's on that rack. But I never bothered to put it in. I'm not much for the dystopian kind of futures, Okay. I'm about as far dystopian I go as like RoboCop. I mean,
okay.
And that's almost like the first one, and obviously they're all like kind of tongue in cheek. But yeah, I'm not big on Blade Runner. I never could get into it. What other ones maybe someone would think I might have watched? I have to think about that.
Like, I'll give you an example. I have still yet to see either Godfather 1 or Godfather 2.
I was made to watch Godfather with my ex-girlfriend.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Your ex-girlfriend made you watch it.
Well, obviously when we were dating, but
right.
But she was
interesting because of all the people who you would think would say, "Hey, you have to watch this film." That's not the person I would think about as the ex-girlfriend.
She was into it. She liked it. It's like, okay, we'll watch it. We're at that stage in our relationship where, like, these are the things I like and these are the things you like. Let's share. Let's, we'll trade, like, movie nights. Like, let's watch your movie and then next week we'll watch one of mine. And the one night we watched Godfather and then the next week I made her watch Princess Bride and she was like, meh. Like, what?
What?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Wait.
She was just like, eh. She was not impressed with it.
Are you sure this was a girl?
Yes. Oh, she was a girl. She had all the proper parts.
Okay, because, like, if you
I checked.
told... okay. Did you do the Paul Hogan Crocodile Dundee, like, check, or...
Yes, I did.
Okay. No, the only reason I say that is... because that's just not the kind of film that you would think of for, like, the girlfriend material kind of movie. Where, like, the girlfriend would demand you have to see it. And then you tell me that Princess Bride, she's like, whatever.
She was like, what? And I was like, what are you talking about? This like...
That's crazy.
Yeah. She was...
That's very role reversal. Wow.
Yeah. That was... Yeah. Other ones, maybe, that people would think I watched, but I didn't... I'm thinking, I'm thinking like sci-fi genre, but
it doesn't have to be sci-fi.
Yeah, I know. It's like because like people like know like I'm a toy nerd and
right,
like sci-fi geek and all that. So what other ones?
Like
would
Napoleon Dynamite, I still haven't seen.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen bits and pieces. I never saw the whole thing. But I know enough of it. I know the memes.
I'll tell you the other one that everybody sits there and looks at me like I'm crazy about that I've never seen, and I admitted it the other week, and everybody's like, why have you never seen this movie? Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Okay, so you and I are both on the same page where we haven't seen it. No. Okay.
Green Mile. Never saw that.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was
never
solid,
saw that.
But I can understand why you didn't see it.
What other ones? I'm thinking like Spielberg kind of epics, Like what other stuff?
From a sci-fi perspective, this is the one that blows everybody's mind. I have never, ever seen an episode of Doctor Who.
Oh, I've seen several seasons. I had a friend of mine when the series was rebooted in 2005 with Chris Eccleston was his name. And then
I don't know.
Yeah, that was...
I wouldn't know.
Anyway. But when Doctor Who was dormant for many years, but then it came back in 2005. And yeah, I watched several episodes of the newer series, but the older stuff I never really watched much of because I remember it being like on channel like 11, like late at night on Sundays, and the old British guy turning a corner and he's like, "Don't go into there, it's a trap." It's like, oh, that's exciting. So I'm doing that.
Right. Maybe that's why I didn't watch it because it was like it's on PBS.
It was even more boring than the original Star Trek series for me.
You know what? It's like, I think that's what it was. When I was a kid, it was like, it's on PBS. How good could it possibly
be? Cool.
How cool could it possibly be?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, you gotta watch it." And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." I mean, I know what a Dalek is for all the wrong reasons. I don't know what it does. I don't know anything else about it. I know what it looks like because I've seen the memes about where it's like, "Hey, look, it's R2-D2." That's pretty funny. But
it's R2-D2 from Star Trek.
And I know that the doctor is a woman, and that there have been many different doctors over the years, and it's not something that's easily explainable. So I'm like, okay, that I understand. Otherwise, I know nothing else about Doctor Who.
Well, obviously, you don't know anything about Gallifreyan regeneration.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but no, there's the one that like people like when they hear it, it's like, okay, we're gonna remove your geek card. I'm like, please.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't watch TOS back in the day. I mean, what got me into Star Trek was the '70s animated series because it was a cartoon, and there seemed like there was more action in a lot more of those.
You know, it's interesting you say that. I did like the cartoon a little bit better than the shows. But in fairness, by that point, the shows were all in rerun, and I hate to say it, sometimes you're when you're a kid, and it's like, okay, this is a 60s show, and it's been how many years, and it looks like a 60s show, and you're like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. You gotta suspend a few thoughts. It's like, even now, sometimes when you're watching like some of those shows, it's like, does this really hold up now? I don't know. I'm like,
What other films? Never.
Or TV shows or things. I mean, you said TV too, like, because obviously Doctor Who was never. I
think they made some TV movies, but I don't think there were ever like theatrical releases.
Right. Because the one that always makes people laugh when I say this out loud, certain people look at me like I'm crazy because it's like with TV, I didn't watch Breaking Bad, I didn't watch Mad Men, and I got 4 episodes into Game of Thrones. I was like, forget it, I'm done.
Yeah, not Game of Thrones. I would like to see Breaking Bad though. I watched the final 2 episodes when it aired.
Did you?
Yeah. What other shows really that people would be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't watch it? Hill Street Blues.
Okay,
true 80s staple. I couldn't stand Hill Street Blues. It was dumb for me. I liked L.A. Law, but I didn't like Hill Street Blues.
So the whole day got away from me somehow. And
he has a mask, Mike. We need to be worried.
No. Well,
we need to be worried. He could be like, Luke, I'm your father. Join the dark side.
I'm thinking more of the Bane mask. If Ivan Rivera played Bane,
ooh, how about
what would Yeah Man sound like in a Bane voice? Like,
you merely adopted the dark, yeah, man. I was born in it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Man.
That's awesome.
I didn't see the light until I was nearly a man. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, you do Jive Ivan better than I do Jive.
What time are you gonna play the Coles, Ivan Bane?
I'll be at Electric Jungle, yeah, man. Your punishment will be much more severe. Like Bane, like suspending sporting events, wears a mask. His problem started with a bat. He's our hero, I guess, in this crazy time.
I just figured this whole suspending sports is a Bernie Sanders thing.
No.
Because it's even out. Everything's even out.
No.
Everyone has equal score.
Yeah.
All zeros.
Everything is equal now.
Well, considering the fact that
Oh wait! I do have a question. Did anybody go vote?
Yeah, I did. I voted in the primary.
Did you?
I did.
Ivan was there. Ivan was at a polling place.
I was at a polling place. Well,
no, I was just curious considering everything that was going on. It's like, because, you know what? Walking in there, I was like, Definitely nobody's social distancing. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true.
Well,
Okay.
where I was, there was no social distancing.
Yeah, well, where I was, there was social distancing when I walked in.
And they certainly weren't cleaning this stuff to where it was like...
Oh, everything in my place was immaculate.
Well, maybe in your place, but in a lot of places, that's not what I was hearing.
If
it wasn't for the fact that I was the first one to use the electronic one, I would have probably not. I would have turned around and probably not voted.
Yeah, well, then see the thing about not voting, if you, like I mentioned in my little message, if you don't vote, then you don't mope.
Well, there's some people saying that because Florida suspended their primary that same day.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, well, of course Pritzker wanted the election to go on because of the low voter turnout. All his buddies would have got reelected. Like, I don't think it had anything to do with that.
No, not at all.
No, I do think it was a bad call, but we're not here to talk politics.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the other thing is, 2020 coming up, but yeah. We can ask Barbara Walters about 2020.
Yeah, well, let's make sure that 2020 we're out there.
Right.
Yeah, well.
It's like that meme where it's like,
by the way,
virtually everybody looking back at 2019 and it's Thanos going, perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Yeah, when did 2020 become damage report, red alert?
I know shit every day.
Number one,
the season
fire torpedoes.
I guess this week the season finale of Picard premieres, but I guess it's coming to some big, huge climax that I'm not going to know because I haven't been able to watch it with my friend because he's been very busy with all of this shit that's going on. But I'm looking forward to seeing that eventually.
Well,
asking
for the code.
Asking for the code?
We don't have the code. We don't understand. We provide our digital content through CBS All Access through alternate means.
Got it.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
In other words, www.ihackedintoaline.com?
No comment.
No, he believes he's using the Bernie Sanders method where everything should be free.
Because everything should be free, including all of the healthcare.
All of the Star Trek.
That's right. All the Star Treks should be all free.
All the different shows should all be free.
That's right.
By the way, Ivor, before you got out, we were talking about the movies and TV shows that people think we should have watched, but we haven't.
Because he just saw School of Rock the other day.
I just saw School of Rock the other day for the first time.
With Jack Black, School of Rock?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Why, is there another School of... Wait, stop.
Is there
another School of Rock?
There's a series.
They tried to make a series out of it?
They tried to make a
series
out of it? Yeah, no, that wasn't it.
Not so much.
Well, duh.
Yeah, the movie in of itself, kind of ran out a whole lot of fumes. You know what I mean? I mean, you can only do so much.
You couldn't hold that dynamic, kind of like they were thinking kind of a Welcome Back Connor kind of thing for it, but it couldn't work. It couldn't last that long.
No. See, that's when you got a moment where a particular is definitely contained within a one-shot movie. Some things do not just translate into series or animated cartoons or anything beyond its core existence,
Well, actually, it's funny you say that because they did make it into a Broadway play and it did well.
Well, okay, yeah, but see, but when you add the live...
They went Broadway musical with it, and to top it off, they opened up Real School of Rocks.
Well, yeah, we got one here in Chicago.
Yeah, there's one. There's lots of ones around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got one here in Chicago on National Avenue. I'm sorry.
Ivan, what? I'm getting to Jeff's question. What TV shows or movies have you been where people thought you'd watched it, assuming they kind of get a feel for who you are, but like shows you think people you've seen but you haven't?
As far as that is concerned, I mean, because I get a lot of suggestions for different shows. I mean, your usual garden variety. Have you seen Game of Thrones? No, not one episode. Have you seen what the hell? Okay, like I said, okay. Long story short, yeah, I've had a lot of shows that were thrown at me, and just there's just not enough hours in the day to just watch every single thing. It's just like, okay, like people have asked me. Okay, good example. Have people had me watch High Infidelity or High Fidelity? The
Well, you
series.
watched that. You saw that.
Well,
We saw that movie.
You saw the movie High Fidelity.
Well, I saw the movie, but I never watched the series.
Never knew there was a series.
When we're talking about series, we're talking about stuff that people would obviously think you like.
Yeah,
like,
people, I can't.
Example.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, like people would say, "Oh, I can't believe you never saw that."
Right. Like.
Right. Well, I get
people
that.
don't think I like. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, right. No, yeah. And where have I seen? I've seen. Okay. Well,
For example, I've never seen either of the Godfather movies, or I've never seen Shawshank Redemption. These are movies that people would go, I can't believe you haven't seen them.
Right.
Well, okay. I haven't seen The Fifth Element, and
There's an example.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
I haven't seen The Fifth Element. Believe it or not, I've never even seen The Black Hole.
Okay.
There's not much to see.
But I'm just telling you.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well. Okay. What have I never seen? Okay. I've never. Let's see. I've never seen. I haven't seen as many Marvel or DC movies as I would have liked to have seen. But there's a lot of them I never saw.
Well, right. Like for example, let's throw something shocking. Like, okay, Mike, have you ever seen Citizen Kane? Because I haven't.
I saw it years ago when it was, I think it was in my media class in high school. I might have seen it. I don't recall.
Okay.
I've not seen Citizen Kane.
Okay, that's what I mean. I mean, that's an example of what we're talking about is weird stuff like that where it's like.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's funny to me too that.
Funny how? It's like I never saw Goodfellas.
It amuses me.
I never
That's
saw Goodfellas.
That's why I'm a clown. Yes, I am.
Well, I've seen Goodfellas, and I like Goodfellas. Okay. Now, if you ask me if I saw Twins, no, I never saw Twins.
Okay, there's an example of a movie. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I mean, I've never saw Twins. I've never saw Kindergarten Cop.
Okay, that's. See, this is what I'm talking about. These are surprising ones that I would think that you might have saw.
I never saw the Rodney Dangerfield where he graduates or goes back to college.
Wait, stop.
Back to school.
You never saw Back to School?
Nope.
Wow.
No, never saw Back to School. Nope.
That was in heavy rotation this summer. It came out on cable. I've seen it lots of times.
Yeah, I've never seen
that.
it.
That is a movie you should see sometime, Ivan. That's a good movie.
Okay.
That's your speed too.
Yeah, I mean,
that was good.
I've seen Caddyshack lots of times.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but Groundhog Day. I'll tell you honestly, I've never seen Groundhog Day.
Or living Groundhog Day right now.
I've seen it once, or maybe 50 times. I don't remember.
Yeah, really.
But
here's the irony. Here's the one thing I did want to wait. I was waiting for Ivan for was because we did lose Kenny Rogers.
Yes.
Right.
And I thought this would be a good time to talk a little bit about that because I'm sure, honestly, is he? I don't know if he's the greatest country singer of all time.
No, he's not.
But
he's still a legend.
Popular. He might be the most popular.
Oh, God, I watched that. Dolly Parton put a video on Twitter. Oh, God, I was crying.
Did she?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where does he fit in the history of country, Ivan?
Well, he fits. He doesn't loom large in country as a lot of people thinks he looms large in country.
But everyone knows.
Okay, see, but that was because that was his most famous transformation. Okay, as country art.
What do you mean?
Well, he was a rocker.
Country. Okay, he was a jazz artist. He started as a jazz artist under the name Kenneth Rogers on Carlton. Okay, in the 1950s. He also went to Columbia. He was part of a pop jazz trio. And then it wasn't up till the advent of the rock idiom and the first edition just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. He had many hits in the rock realm.
Yeah.
He didn't have much in the jazz or in the pop realm. No, those were just kind of, I'm just getting into the business and I'm still looking for an identity that I can work from. And it wasn't up until the first edition, and then he left the first edition and went solo, was when he went into the country direction.
So first edition was a group?
Yes.
Kenny Rogers. First edition, not first edition with the...
No, the first edition, right.
Not
the first edition.
The first edition. It was
not
Kenny Rogers.
Because the next edition would be the new edition.
But that's the thing. So
if it isn't love, why do I feel so bad? Why do I feel so sad?
Well, okay, I got you. But then but as far as the latter part of his career, which a chunk of it goes to his country and crossover, countrypolitan music designs, because a lot of his stuff did.
See, this is Ivan being a purist again.
That was just Ivan. That was the mood of the. I mean, when like Loretta Lynn and
right, there was a lot of artists.
Glenn Campbell. Country was mainstream.
Right. It all started with Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves. That whole let's go ahead and cross over into the popular realm, which and they actually had a handle on it for many, many years.
Yeah, like mid to late 70s into early 80s. We had Hee Haw and we had
Right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Consider how maybe it's just me, but Kenny Rogers in some ways, maybe the musical stylings, or maybe he's not as country as he could be. But honestly, without him, there ain't no Garth Brooks.
You're right, and you're
there
right.
There ain't no Garth Brooks. He was Garth Brooks before there was Garth Brooks.
Well, he was Kenny Rogers opened up the door for Garth Brooks and Billy Ray Cyrus and all the rest of them. Okay, he led the path to that whole situation where, okay, in the 60s, you had Patsy Cline, you had Dolly, you had Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner when they were together, and they were just on the realms of that whole situation. And then you get Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers together, and boom, Island in the Stream, and now everybody wants in. Okay, then of course the whole urban cowboy thing, the movie, which also brought the country western music into the popular vein, which I've never seen urban cowboy. I'll be honest, but
you ever see that Kenny Rogers movie Six Pack?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
it doesn't hold up. Doesn't hold up, but it was.
It does not hold up at all. It didn't hold up then either.
No.
Fairness.
So we're talking about MST 9000, between the three of us.
Maybe not. I don't know, but it just you know what it was okay.
Yes,
but Kenny Rogers will always be.
You know what the best way to describe it is it's a bad Burt Reynolds movie where they couldn't get Burt Reynolds.
Right, like he was a fill-in. Like he was a race car driver down on his luck, and he adopts these 6 kids, and
Okay. I might have seen a.
With kids.
Yeah. I think I might have seen a blip on that, but I never bothered to watch it. It's kind of right up there with Eat My Dust with Ron Howard.
No, I don't know about that. That I've never seen. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Actually, it's kind of a Dukes of Hazzard style of movie. I guess.
Right.
It it's called Eat My Dust, and it was Ron Howard. I mean, not kind of in the flux between, I just got done being this cat on Happy Days, I'm trying to get into the movies, so before I became the great director, here you are.
Yeah. Still, my second favorite Christmas album of all time was Kenny Rogers.
Well, yeah. Well, I like Kenny Rogers. I mean, I like Kenny. I play some of his music, and I like Kenny Rogers. And I have the joy of actually going through different parts of his career and comparing notes. And he's always tend to add a bit of a very special quality to whatever product he was putting out there. I mean, I guess he was he was a believer of a song well done, and I have to give Kenny his props in that department because everything that he had done he committed to, and you could hear the commitment in it, no matter how schmaltzy or how maybe substandard the music was, but you can always hear the quality of that.
I don't know about commitment though, Ivan. He was married 5 times.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that kind of a commitment. He was married 5 times. Well, that's just like Javier Cugat. He was married 8 times. I mean, wanted to meet Charo, I mean, who wouldn't want to be married to Charo, okay? But anyway, that's a whole other universe. Yeah. Anyway, so...
You want to hear something crazy? I'm looking on Billboard right now, okay? Kenny Rogers, one of the things he's really well known for is The Gambler.
Yep.
Right.
Was that like a TV movie, or was that a movie?
Yes, he did.
There was a TV movie.
Movies with The Gambler.
Yeah,
that became like a whole thing where he was. I
just have vague memories of that being on TV.
Yeah, like Bret the Hitman Hart was in it at one point.
Oh my God!
He was.
Wow.
He was. I mean, that's how long that thing ran. Is like we're talking like into the 90s or the 2000s. Maybe it was the 90s.
It was early 80s.
No, it went further than that.
Really?
The Gambler Show. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it up here in a second. But
okay.
Where do you think Gambler peaked on the charts?
I don't know. I say number 10. Top 10.
What do you think, Ivan?
Top 5.
What if I told you it peaked at 16?
Wow, it's top 20. Wow.
So
that's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like...
Well, I remember when The Gambler first came out, I mean, it was one of those 1 in 4 things you heard on the radio, and that was during a time when there was a large country and western presence in Chicago, in this city, for a while. I'm not talking like US 99 either. I'm talking like there were several other country stations that were, that ran that in a huge rotation. Not to mention, that was a crossover hit too. So... it jumped genres and it made numbers.
Well, I'm looking up about the Gambler movies.
Coward of the County. That was another one of his big records.
Lady, obviously.
Lady.
So Kenny Rogers had 2 number ones. Hold on a second. Let me try this way. Why don't I go to Kenny Rogers IMDb? Maybe that'll be a better way to look at this.
I think that'd be the way to do it, yeah. IMDb.
God, it's sad looking at Box Office Mojo now. They stopped recording information after the 19th.
Yeah, well, for good reason.
Like the last day, like the number 1 movie made like $10,000 that day. Nationwide.
Well,
yeah,
sad.
It's kind of
well,
crazy.
it's a sign of the temporary present times right now.
Okay, so let's look for actor. Let me take a look and see, because I know that there was the last Gambler film. The last Gambler film, according to this, was 94. Gambler 5, Playing for Keeps.
Okay. Wow.
That apparently he was doing a character called McShane, because I see a couple of McShane movies. But yeah, that's how far back it stretches in.
I think Kenny Rogers was in it made fun of him in a Geico commercial or something.
I don't see any more Geico commercial.
We're saying a couple lines of The Gambler, yeah.
Maybe. It's funny, the last few things that I'm seeing here are the last thing I'm seeing that he did anything was apparently he did a voiceover work on something called Change in the Wind in 2010, and then I guess he did some sort of kindly book narrator spot on How I Met Your Mother in 2009. But then it kind of goes strange. He was in the Barbara Mandrell story. That's interesting. But yeah, there's 5 Gambler movies. I'm guessing Ivan knows who the 2 number ones that he had.
Ruby, Don't Take Your Guns to Town was one.
Nope.
No. Lady.
Lady is 1.
Yeah, that's again.
And Island in the Stream.
That's correct.
Yeah, the one with Dolly
Those
Parton.
are the 2.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, which one did you say about Ruby?
Ruby, Don't Take Your Guns to Town. Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
Yeah, hold on, I'm looking for it. Ruby, Don't Take Your... peaked at 6.
Okay, top 10.
Oh, no, I agree. I'm just saying it peaked at 6, just so you're aware. She Believes in Me peaked at 5.
Okay.
I Don't Need You peaked at 3.
Okay.
I'm just looking around. Lucille peaked at 5. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Took a fine time to leave me, loose wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just, like I said, it's commitment. And when he sang, he put his best foot forward, and many times he ended up, in the top 10, 20, or 40. Which that's something to be admired, considering you're not going to get to number 1 every time, but at least if you're in the playing field, at least you're halfway there.
Yeah, 42 in the top 20 and 11 in the top 10.
How many albums did he sell? Does it say?
I don't know. I didn't get.
Was that on Billboard?
At the moment from Billboard.
I
clicked out of that. Good timing, Mike. Good job.
I'll check. Seeing as
we're kind of here.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Do. Life and photos. Nope.
So yeah. Where would you place him? Is he? How do I put this? Where does he go? Where does he belong on the? He's not on the Mount Rushmore, is he? I would assume
not of country.
Right? Out of country, no. You'd have to fight me on some of that, because I guess a lot of people would disagree. Oh, Kenny Rogers, he's the epitome of country artist. No, he's an architect.
He paved the way for a lot of artists. Yeah,
let me try it this way.
Artists, right?
Let me try it this way. Baseball's Hall of Fame originally started with 10 original members. Would he be one of the 10 in the picture?
No.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I agree with you on that.
No, I say no. And would you like me to tell you why, or is that for another show?
No, I don't know. It depends how much time we have left.
Well,
we're
running
long.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, because I didn't get here. As
okay.
much. As...
It's not an I'm sorry. It's just we're running long. Yeah, if you want to, you can if you want.
Well, okay. Here's all right. Do you guys? I know Mike goes extensively through the country realm. He likes his fair share of country artists. Jeff. I don't know if that's even in your wheelhouse. Do you like country artists or?
I only like when they play the records backwards, because you get your house back, your car back, your kid back, your dog back, all those things back.
Okay,
that's my.
Okay, yeah. So you're not a practicing country listening.
I'm kind of like when the Blues Brothers show up in the bar and they go, "We got 2 kinds of music in here:
country and
Western." Good analogy. I like that.
Okay, that's where I'm at, which is
no. Which is
look
fine.
on my face where I roll my eyes and it's like, oh wait, Shania Twain, she looks hot. Faith Hill looks good. Okay, I'll go along with this for now.
Well, everything's a sexually charged thing with you, Jeff. What can I tell you?
Hey.
But
anytime,
not a bad thing.
Anytime
not a bad.
Shania Twain wants to hang out, I'm all good.
Oh, yes, you are.
I don't know if I can impress her much, but I'll try.
Oh, that's bullshit. You're a handsome guy, man. Come on. Quit No. Okay.
Oh, she claimed that's what she was looking. Not what she was looking for, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? You got a whole lot of love in there, man. Okay. I mean,
no. Hey, look.
yeah,
Like I said,
I'm not gonna let you go. I'm not letting you feed into that. Sorry.
I understand. I'm only kidding. I'm playing around with it, but yeah, Shania. No, Shania, I like it. It's funny because country people can't stand her.
Yeah,
They
she was like.
can't
Not only was she
stand
like
her.
from Canada,
Yeah.
but
Blame
she's
Canada. Blame Canada.
Not only is she from Canada, then there was all the talk that she had help with the vocals. Then it was the fact that at the time she was married to what's his name, who was the AC/DC producer, and he produced all her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he cheated on her because.
Yeah, no, they're not together anymore.
Yeah, they divorced. Yeah,
they're divorced. They've been divorced for a while, but.
Well, maybe because she was.
Never mind that she was like the country artist that kind of crossed over in the 2000s, and that's why like, Hill did.
Well, Amy Grant crossed over from gospel to country.
Well,
yeah,
right,
she did.
To pop as well.
And she went to pop.
Shania did.
Well, Baby Baby was a huge hit for Amy Grant. I mean, you can't deny and I think that's one-hit wonder status for her because I think that was the only record that actually broke large before she went back into gospel music.
Although then she
she did some stuff country.
She did some other songs like that's what love is for. I hear that one a lot.
Oh, okay.
There's a few, but she kind of goes more back towards the country realm than she does the pop realm.
Yeah.
Right, you're right.
Whereas, the only reason I'm mentioning Shania is because it's like without Shania, I don't think you get the Faith Hills, the Leanne Rimeses, those guys.
Well, the Martina McBrides, and things like that. Yeah, no, I get it. And
I don't know if there's a Carrie Underwood without a Shania Twain. Frankly.
Shania Twain. Okay, because it's given the whole fact that Shania Twain's body of work, and of course expressing body as well as work.
That's part of the Nashville machine. You know, you got to look good on that album cover in order you want to be a success.
The album cover, those videos were amazing. I mean, as a 20-something guy, it's like, okay, I ran out of porno material. What can I? Oh, Shania's here. Okay,
this will do.
Well, that's
something
I didn't really need to know, but
I needed to go.
I told you, put him in front of a dirty screen and he's about it, man.
You kidding? Well, we haven't even got to that stuff from News the Squared yet this week. It's like there's one story that I swear to God, like I had 4 people, like 2 or 3 people posted on my on my personal page. I'm like, okay, really? Like, seriously?
But that's the beauty of it, Jeff.
I know, but I'm just laughing because I'm like, seriously? And everybody's laughing. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, fine, whatever.
Dude, you know what? This is what it's about, man. This is what we do. This is our alchemy, man. We have to challenge the normalcy of people's minds. To get them to think outside the box, because that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something.
What's that?
Give me Shania Twain over that frickin' Taylor Swift any day of the week.
Okay.
Dude, she is such a whiny little brat.
You see that video leaked between that phone call between her and Kanye?
Oh no, I didn't hear.
No, I did not catch this. What?
No, okay.
What is this?
Yeah. After the phone call, after the "I'ma let you finish" incident.
Oh, did that leak at some point, or is that?
There was a phone call afterward they had where that video, a part of that conversation, leaked.
Oh, did it? Is this a recent thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you finish.
You know what?
When she was accepting the award, and it was an MTV award or something.
Yeah, Ivan might not have.
Ivan doesn't know what this is
because it's an MTV thing.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. You're talking about the time that he went up on stage
and interrupted her because she won the video award or something.
Right.
Yeah, instead of Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he went up on a big old dialogue about it with her up on stage. Yeah, no, I saw that.
And you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I agree with him. I kind of agree with him. I kind of agree with this. See, this is why MTV. This is why it bothers me that MTV isn't MTV anymore. Because you don't get that shit in anybody else's award shows. You don't get that shit.
Well, no. I mean, when you used to watch the MTV Awards, when MTV was still relevant, because I'm sorry, MTV to me now is not relevant.
No,
you're right.
I couldn't
really
give
not.
I couldn't give two fucks about MTV. Okay, I mean, if I want to go back in time, I go to VH1. Okay, which they still do their thing. If I want country videos, I can go.
No, I
to,
got an issue. I would tell you too. VH1 isn't what it used to be either.
Oh no,
I mean,
none of it is.
No.
I can't remember the last time I watched MTV or VH1 at this point.
Okay. Well,
I realize we're not the target audience, but
no. But the thing is that with VH1, at least their content doesn't stray too far away from things of musicality. Not like MTV, where they just decided we're gonna cross over into the realms of actual television and fail miserably.
Oh. No, there was some. Hold on a second. There was some stuff on. Hold on a second. There's been some stuff on MTV that's been solid.
Well, like what?
Well, they did that remote control game show that had like a whole slew of people that
I love
eventually
that
went on
show,
to
man.
be famous.
Oh no, remote control. Okay,
That was way back in the day. Yeah.
And
that's
and
way
in
back in
fairness,
the day, though.
Okay, I'm not talking about anything. Look, I'll agree with you, but the way you said it, you're talking about overall. Like,
oh no,
dude, if you can find copies of that Undress show that they used to air, Jiminy Christmas, holy cow!
Okay.
And they used to air that thing in the afternoons too, and I'm like, where's the parental control on this?
There isn't any.
Damn.
That's because that's them testing the waters to see how far they can get Big Brother and all the rest of those.
Well, yeah, but that
multi-shows.
Undress show was awesome. I mean, it was like the closest thing to like
Softcore porn, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was like underneath softcore porn. It was like softcore porn's cousin or something.
Well, it very softcore porn. There we go. We'll go.
But they did some stuff that was like regular programming that was good, like obviously Beavis and Butthead, obviously Aeon Flux, obviously.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll give you Aeon Flux, and I will give you Beavis and Butthead. I mean, I used to watch Aeon Flux and Beavis and Butthead. Liquid Television. I used to love Liquid Television.
Yeah, there is somebody doing. I can't remember what the name of that show is. That now I'm drawing a blank. Where they're all sitting around and they watch like stupid videos and they make fun of them, and I can't remember the name of it. That's a current show.
Yeah,
over
Beavis
there.
and Butthead did that first.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like more like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Kind of like an MST 3000, but different.
I can't remember the name of the show right now. But
Was it Pop-Up Video?
No, Pop-Up Video.
That was from VH1. Yeah,
that's VH1.
Yeah, I remember
honestly, that show
Pop-Up
needs to come
Video.
back. That show would be great.
Well, yeah, the fact that they sit there and they pop up with all these little facts while the video's going on. I always thought that was kind of informative. I thought that was always kind of cool.
It'd be funny if just they had done pop-up video with people who are like drunk and stoned and came up with bullshit. Like, this is where he looks like a moron or something. I don't know.
Then of course you had Celebrity Match. Remember that one?
Celebrity Deathmatch. Yeah, the claymation. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At one point they did recently, and I don't remember which one was doing it. They were doing Hip Hop Hollywood Squares.
Yes, they were doing that for a while. I remember that.
Yeah, that has been more recent.
It was like when Snoop Dogg was in the middle or something.
Yes, he was the center square.
Yeah.
Who was the center square?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, of course.
Yeah, of course, center square.
Of course, he's center square.
Was it? Yeah, Flavor Flav was on that show too.
So would you say Snoop Dogg is the Rip Taylor of hip hop?
I would have to. You know what? I don't know between him and Flavor Flav
or Charles Nelson Riley.
Oh. Every time you mention Charles Nelson Riley, I think of that cornball Don Bluth animation picture Rockadoodle.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I mean,
there
it was
41 episodes of that Hip Hop Squares thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look for those. Those could be
41
entertaining.
episodes.
Those should be on Game Show Network.
Those should be on Game.
Dude, that would be. You know what? They really should.
Fucking awesome. That would be
great.
That would be so fucking awesome.
You know what? Now that you say that, that is an interesting point, Mike. How come they don't have Hollywood Squares on that network?
Could be just copyright.
Maybe they don't have. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
either
they don't have
copyright.
rights.
Could be. Was it Paramount Viacom that owns MTV?
I believe so.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Wait, let's see. Who is? Did they say who was in it?
They should.
Well, no, I'm trying to find.
Oh, what all the 9 squares were?
Yeah, who were the different squares within the Hollywood Squares thing? Cast. Here we go. According to IMDb. Okay, so, Ray Davis. I don't know who that is.
Ray Davis of the Kinks.
I guess so. Okay, Ice Cube was in it.
Okay.
Michael Blackson, Biz Markie. Come on, there's more than that. There had to be more than Biz Markie. Where's the rest of it? Come on, show me the rest of the cast. Okay. They go into a cast summary here instead of showing me pictures. T.I. was on.
Okay.
There's like 8 more rows. What else we got?
Amazing.
Okay, hold on. I got it now. Here, hold on.
Inquiry minds want to know.
Yeah, seriously. Wow, there was 193 for cast for Hip Hop Hollywood Squares. T.I. had been on it. Biz Markie.
Uh-huh.
Spinderella at one point did 11 episodes.
Wow. Dang, I haven't heard Spinderella in ages.
Tiffany Haddish was center square at one point.
Huh?
Tiffany Haddish was on this show. MC Light.
MC Light, I remember. Man, I remember.
Tiffany Haddish is current. She's a hot actress. Ice Cube's kid. Ray J.
Minicube.
Minicube.
Yeah. Let's see.
Melted
I'm looking
Cube.
to see names that immediately pop out at me. Fat Joe. Fat Joe was on it. Apparently Fat Joe was center square for 4 episodes.
Who?
Fat Joe.
Oh, Fat Joe, okay.
I'm looking for the ones. The Brat did 3 episodes.
The Brat.
Tyson Beckford was on here. I'm looking for Black China apparently did. Cardi B.
Okay.
T-Pain. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown did 3 episodes?
Wow.
God, gotta find this show.
Yeah, it's out there. I'm sure.
Keisha Campbell Martin. Christian Milian. Amber Rose. I'm trying to... Wait, why was Nick Lachey on this show? He's not a hip-hop squares guy.
I never would think of him as a hip-hop
No, absolutely not.
No, Nick Lachey?
Nick Lachey, Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric,
just like it's like they did maybe Nelly.
Okay, Nelly.
Wait, maybe there. Okay, hold on a second. Is there a full series cast? Wait, there's full series cast, and then there's top series cast. Okay, so this is the people who were in the most episodes. The most episodes were DeRay Davis, Ice Cube, T.I., Michael Blackman, Biz Markie, DC Young. I'm trying to see. Okay, full series cast.
This is television that you should seek out, folks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, we're starting, Actually, now that I'm looking at this, Snoop Dogg was not in the center square.
No?
Snoop Dogg was not in... Okay, Snoop Dogg apparently not on this show.
That's weird, because I thought...
If he was, it's not a lot of episodes, because they're basing this from most episodes to least, and I'm not seeing...
Maybe he was a guest square.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking just to see I can't believe it.
Because I knew you. I swore I've seen him in the middle square. I have.
Michael Rappaport was on it for 2 episodes. I could see that though. He has the right white boy mentality for that show. Ricky Bell, Ronnie DeVoe. See, some of these guys aren't hip hop. They're more pop than hip hop.
It seems like they're going for like comedians, hot stars.
They had Kid and Play for 1 episode.
Kid and Play. Wow.
Kid and Play for 1 episode. See, that's what I'm talking about. Why would you? Little John was 1 episode. Just looking to see. Did Snoop Dogg? It does not look like Snoop Dogg did it. Nipsey Hussle was on it.
Nipsey Hussle?
Oh, here we go. Snoop Dogg did 1 episode in 2018.
I knew I wasn't crazy.
He did 1 episode. But he showed up for 1 episode.
Okay.
See, now that's crazy. You got I would bet Ice Cube was involved in producing this, so I'm kind of like sitting here.
Think it's slighted?
Well, no, I'm a little surprised because it's like, okay, you think with Ice Cube, you think he could get like Dre or Jay-Z or
NWA, or he could have got the Wu-Tang.
Right, or Eminem or somebody like that. But
Eminem, I don't think Eminem would have been on that show. He wouldn't take.
Well, no, because keep in mind we're talking about Ice Cube, we're talking about NWA, so he's friends with Dre. Dre might have been able to convince him, or 50 Cent isn't even on here.
Wow, no, yeah, you would think 50 Cent would have jumped on that.
Yeah, because...
Did you say Coolio? You think Coolio was Coolio on?
No, Coolio was not on here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Coolio was not on this list.
I mean, was Father MC or Heavy D and the Boys or...
No LL Cool J here either. And the funny part is, no LL Cool J, and this is like a CBS kind of show, and he does all that stuff for CBS.
Right. So what happened?
We made sure to get the nepotism in and get eight episodes for your son O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Well, of course.
Although he was very good. Did you ever see? Oh wait, here's where we ask Ivan the question. Did you ever see Straight Outta Compton, Ivan?
Straight Outta Compton? No.
Okay, you should see that one. He is good in there as Ice Cube.
Okay.
He's really good. He actually is pretty good. And of course, we have to have 7 episodes of Ray J because we have like all those stupid Ray J shows on VH1. So we have to have him. Just like here, 6 episodes with Tamara Braxton because we do all those Braxton shows. You know.
So you think it was just basically more of a promotional device for Ice Cube because he's got all of his people up in there?
It certainly seems like D. Ray Davis was the host.
Okay, well then, yeah, I think maybe it was just
for
a vehicle for
episodes.
Some of his buds, to say, hey, man, I got a game show. You want to come on?
Well, but, I mean, that's kind of why I'm, like, shocked by who isn't on this list.
Right.
That's why I'm shocked by who isn't on this list. It's like, there's certain names where I would, like, off the top of my head, like you said, like, Snoop Dogg, 1 episode. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I mean, Snoop Dogg, I would have thought he would have gone a whole lot more than just 1 episode.
Like, I would have thought he'd been like a regular.
Yeah, well, I mean, because in the original Hollywood Squares, I remember they used to have, like, guys that were on there for, like, seasons.
Yep.
Like...
Well, Ice Cube's on it for all of them, obviously, and T.I. The one who's on there the most is T.I. So, I mean, I guess I could see that, because it's like, okay, at least you had a current rap guy, and you've got Ice Cube, who's, like...
Yeah, legendary. Well, yeah, I mean, and that, and just you would think that certain things would have applied, but I think it's just a vehicle for his buds just to have a place to go, I guess, or just to promote his, side projects, his side hustle,
And I still don't think, I think Kenny Rogers would have collaborated with several of these hip-hop artists, too, I think.
He would have.
He would have.
You know what? It's possible, given the fact that some of the stuff that's out there now, like that Florida-Georgia line thing with Nelly. You know what? In this day and age, if there was a guy like Kenny Rogers, I could see it. I'm actually kind of surprised that hasn't happened with, like, Garth. with like
Well,
Garth
yeah, well,
Brooks.
you would think that. Well, remember Garth Brooks? He tried that alternate ego thing and made that rock album that sank without.
That didn't go very well.
Didn't he put
Although
an
I heard
album
the
out
album
under
was
an
good.
alternate name, like what
Yeah.
Hank Williams did?
Gaines
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Rings or something like that.
Exactly. That was the point. That was the album. That was the side hustle he was trying to do, trying to come up with this alternate
People didn't get
personality thing. And they were just lost. Everybody was lost on the idea, and the record sank like a stone, and pretty much deep six the rest of Garth's Brooks' career. And that, and of course, his mad dash to try to trademark the letter G.
Well, not to mention he got Trisha Yearwood, and you know what? I got news for you. You got that many millions, and you got a gorgeous wife and Trisha Yearwood. Sure, I got nothing better to do. I'll go hang out, and whenever I feel like it, I'll just do a tour. And
Speaking
make a
of
whole
things
bunch
to do,
leave.
Let's find out where they can find this extended version of SOTRT.
we are on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You know new content drops. Of course, all these crazy stories from our other show, our side hustle, is Squares Roundtable. This is the big thing. But the other thing we do is News of the Squared. We're crazy stories galore. Shout out to Scott.
Scott.
And you can download our show on all of your favorite podcasting platforms: Apple, PodBean, Anchor, Spotify, Google. Email us if you'd like. Questions, comments, critiques. We'll take it all. We crave your attention. We're not going to be in a bathtub naked with rose petals, but with...
Or with piles of records on top, making you think I'm naked underneath.
Yeah.
But,
Email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, boys, what do you say we go ahead and do this groovy thing and catch up with these nice folks next week? And, of course, I hope you'll also catch up with Knots, the News of the Square.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.